Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to officially begin ESCAIDE 2025, and I therefore invite you to watch our brief conference video. Welcome to ESCAIDE 2025. It's my great pleasure to invite on stage Pamela Rendi-Wagner, Director of the European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control.
Well, good morning, or dzień dobry, as you say it here in Poland. Dear colleagues, dear Director General, a warm welcome to all of you to the 19th ESCAIDE conference. And I think I don't need to tell you that ESCAIDE really, in the meanwhile, has become a flagship for the European Centre of Disease Prevention and Control. And we are very, very proud, and I can say this on behalf of all ECDC staff. I'm pleased to see many people in person here today, but I'm even more pleased that the number of people online is growing. I just heard the last number. It's about 4,000 people connected online. It would never fit in here. So this is thanks to online methods and online streaming. So why is that? Why is the number growing? Why is the interest in such a public health conference growing, actually? Well, ESCAIDE is bringing together people. It's bringing together public health professionals from a wide array of fields. We don't stay in a very narrow bubble. It's a wide range of disciplines we bring together. We bring together a wide range of different nationalities and countries. And this makes it possible and makes it a great opportunity to discuss the future of public health, because it is changing. Public health is in a actually speedy changing process. It's a transition process we are in right now. It's a great opportunity in ESCAIDE also to network, to strengthen our relationships, and to share, and this is the purpose of any conference, scientific conference, to share knowledge, to share expertise across borders and our specialties. So every meeting, every exchange, and every new connection made here in the upcoming 3 days is a contribution for a stronger health security in Europe and beyond. And I'm so glad to see that we have attendees from 127 different countries. That's quite a big number. And this is what makes ESCAIDE such a significant, such an important event in the public health calendar every year. And even more so since ECDC, and many of you might know, is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. So we're very proud to celebrate this. And just to note, ESCAIDE is just younger, 19th one ESCAIDE conference, so next year is an important year for ESCAIDE. Well, since ECDC was established 20 years ago, the context, and that's what I said at the beginning, the context in which we operate as public health experts has certainly profoundly changed. And it is right now changing even more. We face today a multitude of new, novel, evolving and complex trends and challenges, from geopolitical tensions, growing social inequalities, shifting demographies, the rise of mis- and disinformation, which is huge, to climate change. And these are the new challenges, but they come on top of the already existing ones, which are not going away, AMR, just to mention this one. So no matter if we speak about old or new threats, to be ready, to be good and well prepared, cooperation and coordination is at all levels key. It's about this. Not only between countries, not only between international or European organizations, but also between scientific silos. The concept of One Health is of course not new. I don't need to tell you and explain to you what One Health means and why it is so important to us. But it needs to be mentioned again and again that due to the increasing complexity and multifacetedness of new public health challenges and trends, actually more and more importance is given to make a joint effort to further deepen our collaboration across the sectors and to further expand it. And that's not easy. We see this in the country visits when we go as ECDC experts for the preparedness missions. We see that this is one of the most, or actually the biggest challenge to work across sectors and disciplines. ESCAIDE, as such, is a unique opportunity to make this joint effort, to make these new important relationships and connections across fields and across country borders. Over the next 3 days, you will hear about the importance of keeping One Health at the heart of public health and about what ECDC is going to do or is already doing on that front at the European level, together with other partners in the European context. Following the COVID pandemic, we have indeed changed the way we work at ECDC. We have changed the way we collaborate. Today, we work much, much closer with our partners. We work much, much closer with the member states. There is the Public Health Task Force. There are the country missions, preparedness missions, where we go on the ground, hands-on, with experts, teams of experts, mixed teams to the countries and spend days with the experts to discuss the problems and challenges and how to overcome these. Well, today we work much closer with the partners, but it's also about building relationships with our partners, with the member states. It's about establishing trust. It's about opening avenues of new cooperations at the national levels, at the European level, and the global level, the international one. And this collaboration we build, this needs to be smart and it needs to be outcome driven. It needs to be informed by clear and common public health goals. ECDC, ESCAIDE, EPIET, and EUFEM all play major roles in widening and even strengthening these collaborations. Well, this year's conference also has a strong focus on the importance of trust, as I mentioned before. Trust is so important, and we didn't value maybe pre-pandemic how important it is. And now we see how mis and disinformation is spreading faster than any virus. We see that public trust in science and in public institutions, such as ECDC, is weakening and declining. So discussions on science-based leadership or post-normal science are therefore of utmost importance. Clearly aiming to strengthen the trust, we need to ensure public health interventions remain effective, remain evidence-based. To strengthen the trust, however, we need to reach the people. We must not stay within the scientific bubble. We need to understand the people's needs and fears. And to communicate better, we need to communicate more timely, in a clearer language. And it means also to communicate the knowns and the unknowns. And this is new for scientists because we are usually looking at the evidence on the table. but we have to be honest and speak about the unknowns and explain why this is the case. Well, it's important to communicate evidence-based, trustworthy, and we need to be accessible to a wider audience. And this is the only way to fight mis and disinformation around science and to strengthen trust in the work of independent public health and scientific institutions such as ECDC. Well, I'm coming to an end. Well, in ECDC's anniversary year, I may say, and I'm proud to say, we have achieved a lot in this past 20 years. I'm proud to say that ECDC made Europe a safer place. But the next 20 years will demand even more from all of us. More collaboration, more innovation, efficiency, and more flexibility. Although the challenges we face are great, yes, and they are growing, I'm confident that our joint capacity is even greater to respond to these challenges. So let us continue working together to strengthen public health in Europe even more and to be better prepared for any future public health crisis. All of us here in the room and colleagues also online and in our networks, in the EPIATs, in the UFEM, have an important part to play when it comes to strengthening public health in Europe. Because together, we design European public health resilience. Together, we are building the future of public health. I would like to end by thanking Poland, first of all, and more specifically the city of Warsaw, for hosting this year's ESCAIDE conference. The collaboration, indeed, between the Ministry of Health and the National Public Health Institute here in Poland and ECDC colleagues has been very, very close. It has been very good and fruitful during the past few months. So thanks also to the Scientific Committee of ESCAIDE. And of course, and this most importantly, this thanks is I want to thank the great ESCAIDE team in ECDC, Margot, Luciana, Eva, Alexandra, Christina, for their incredible engagement and effort, for their work and professionality. But I want to thank also thank our Chief Scientist, Piotr Kramarz, who is, I think today is really his day. He brought ESCAIDE home to Poland, and this is a very important event for him, and we will see him in a few minutes. So on behalf of ECDC staff, I want also to thank all of you, all the participants of ESCAIDE, which are growing actually in numbers, and that's good. Let me tell you, make the most out of this upcoming 3 days. Enjoy yourselves. Don't forget to enjoy, because we need joy, we need pleasure, and carry all the experiences and the new knowledge and the new relationships from here into your work back home. And as it has been said so perfectly just 2 weeks ago in the ECDC's anniversary ceremony, let's make collaboration and science great again. Thank you, everybody, and dzięki.
Pamela Rendi-Wagner, thank you very much for your opening address, outlining the challenges, the goals, and direction for ECDC and all of us, now and in the future. It's my great pleasure now to invite on stage Konrad Korbinski, who is the Director General of the Ministry of Health here in Poland. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, it's a great honor for me to welcome you to welcome you to Warsaw for the ESCAIDE 2025 European Scientific Conference on Applied Infectious Disease Epidemiology, held in Poland for the very first time. Today, our capital becomes the center of European dialogue on public health, epidemiology, and health security. ESCAIDE has always been about science, but today, more than ever, it must go beyond traditional limits. It must also be about how we communicate knowledge effectively to society, how we use evidence to change behaviors and counter misinformation. In an age where disinformation can spread faster than virus, our responsibility is clear. Scientific truth must prevail. Communicators need to be empowered with accurate, actionable information to prevent disease and protect health. This mission aligns closely with priorities of Polish Ministry of Health, which places prevention at the very head of its strategy. For us, prevention is not just a policy. It's culture of safeguarding health long before diseases strike. Poland wishes to become an ambassador for prevention, and we know this ambition can only succeed through collaboration with partners like ECDC and through platforms like ESCAIDE. In April of this year, as a part of UE Council presidency, Poland hosted a high-level meeting in Warsaw together with ECDC to accelerate progress towards SDG target 3,3, which is ending epidemics of HIV, viral hepatitis, tuberculosis, and other communicable diseases by 2030. The meeting brought together policymakers, public health experts, clinicians, patient associations, and civil society to review progress, share best practices, and strengthen collaboration across countries and networks. This reflects our belief that complex changes require collective solutions. The program we open today reflects the complexity of public health challenges, from One Health, antimicrobial resistance, and the new technologies to artificial intelligence and equity in healthcare. But all these topics share one common thread: the need of trust in science and effective communication. Together we can transform prevention from a concept into a movement that protects lives, strengthens resilience, and builds trust in science. Let this conference be a space for dialogue, innovation, and partnership. Let it inspire us to communicate clearly, act boldly, and lead with evidence. Thank you for being here and your dedication. Let's make these days in Warsaw a milestone for public health in Europe. Welcome in Warsaw, and I wish you a great conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kubinski, for welcoming us here to Warsaw and for hosting ESCAIDE 2025. It's now my great pleasure to introduce Piotr Kramarz, who is the Chief Scientist at the European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control.
Good morning, everyone. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to ESCAIDE 2025. I myself am Polish, and it's a great pleasure to me personally that we are bringing ESCAIDE to Warsaw. Chciałem szczególnie gorąco powitać wszystkich uczestników z Polski. Now I'll stop speaking Polish for the benefit of the broader audience. You will have 3 days to learn Polish. It's easy. You know the numbers. We are increasing every year. We have more and more participants, but it's still possible to register for online participation. So I would like to still encourage colleagues to encourage others to join us. Online registration is possible during the whole duration of ESCAIDE And as you heard, we have a lot of participants from all over the world. And I would like to greet especially those who had to wake up early or stay up late to be with us. We have an exciting program ahead of us. This year, we will have daily themes. Today, we'll be focusing on data for action, science for policy. It's ESCAIDE, we have to talk about data for action. But tomorrow we'll focus more on One Health, and especially we'll talk about the environmental dimension, which is sometimes a bit neglected. And on the last day, we'll talk about equity and solidarity in health. We are in Poland, in the country where the solidarity movement was born in the previous century, Solidarność, led by the Peace Nobel Prize winner Lech Wałęsa. And I think solidarity in health is needed now more than ever. I would like to thank very much, join my director in thanking the Ministry of Health and the National Public Health Institute, the city of Warsaw and Poland in general for hosting us. But I also would like to thank our great scientific committee, and you see them on the slide. So I am there also, so I'm thanking myself, sorry. But, but they really helped us put together this program, which I hope will be very interesting for you. And I would also like to thank all the reviewers. And you can see the names on the next slide. They, year after year, the reviewers are helping us to keep the high scientific quality of ESCAIDE. And let's give both the scientific committee and all the reviewers a round of applause. Finally, for those who are here in person, especially if you are here for the first time in Warsaw, I hope you can stay a bit longer, maybe visit some museums in Warsaw, eat as much pierogi as possible, and perhaps even explore some of the legendary Warsaw entertainment opportunities. A little disclaimer from us organizers, we take no responsibility really if people get too enthusiastic about these explorations. We recommend the precautionary principle at all times. It's at the core of heart of public health and health in general. With that, we are ready to begin ESCAIDE 2025.